What's going on, friends and family? My name is Skylent. In today's editorial, we're going to be talking about mobile games that aren't really mobile. What do I mean by that? I actually mean a whole lot of things, but essentially I mean it's a mobile game as in you download it on your phone or whatever you got. Even it could be a Windows phone or maybe a laptop even. You can actually play some of these Android ports over in the Windows Store. Stuff like that. Your iPhone, whatever, guys. Mobile games, you download them, on your mobile device and you play them with the concept, with the inception of maybe that you will play these games on the go, with a little bit of mobility, someone might say. However, a lot of the games, for a number of different reasons, really kind of hinder your mobility, or basically you really can't play them mobile at all. Even games that are specifically, advertised and cater to the mobile audience, and they're designed as mobile games, bunny ears, but then they still have some issues that actually directly hinder, that ideal, the concept. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. And I say we because this is a conversation, okay? Join us in the comments below, please and thank you. That's what this is all about. The topic, the umbrella terminology. You guys, if you just want to rant about how mobile games suck today, whatever, fuck it, just put it down. As long as it's in the umbrella, genre of what we have to talk about, I'm cool with it. Let's just try to be nice. Let's try to be civil, and let's get heated if you want to. I don't care. So here we go, guys. Mobile games that aren't really mobile, and the gameplay in the background is going to be of Albion Online. And immediately, hey, if you already wrote your comment, maybe edit it. But basically, I know it's unfair to put Albion as an example and use it as an example because the game isn't released yet. However, I will say this, and it kind of goes with what we're talking about as a whole. Albion Online is a mobile game, and it was advertised at one point at, very clearly, like half or more of its advertisements really focused on the fact that it was a mobile game. It was going to be a cross-platform mobile game for tablets, for phones, for desktop. It was supposed to be a full-fledged, the true cross-platform MMO. And I think it still has that potential. In fact, I actually really want it to go to PS4 because I think with a controller, this game would be phenomenal. And I think a lot of people on Android phones would love to play this game with a controller. In fact, I myself and many others over at /r Android Gaming, we talk about controllers all the time, especially working with different action RPGs and emulators. A lot of people use controllers with their phones. So, if it comes to PS4 or not, I would just love controller support with this game. It's cool. And I don't think that every mobile game needs to focus on the actual mobility factor, especially since there's lots of things like the Android console, market, especially I think the biggest one is really the Nvidia Shield, the TV version, the non-portable. So they have a portable and they have a tablet. I personally own the tablet, which is amazing. But they do have a console version, and there's lots of those out there now. So it's totally possible to make an Android app that's designed with just controllers in mind and really not focused on the mobility aspect. So I understand that. That's a concept. That can happen, and it is happening. However, I feel that you're really kind of not going the full distance of what you could. I mean, if you look at PC as an example, PC games have, different graphic settings, all the way down to limiting FPS and stuff like that for people who want to play on laptops, who, need to worry about heat, and also energy consumption, stuff like that. You can change the graphics, obviously, from high to low, the fidelity, but then also further features so that there's less consumption so that it can be a mobile game. So you do have that customization. But what I find is that overall, just across the board, almost every single mobile game that I've ever played has not had the full feature set that I would have enjoyed. And that's even going with, the sort of mindset, the bias that I love mobile games and, I kind of give them a pass whenever they don't have a lot of, customization. I know you watch a Total Biscuit video and he'll freaking write down every little thing that he wishes was in the game. Oh, it only goes to, 90, the FOV. I really need 110, and he'll write that down. I think 90 is actually his base value, but whatever. So, he'll small things like that to some people is really big to him and a lot of people who just play on PCs. But people who play mobile games tend to give stuff a pass. Even me, I'm mainly a PC gamer, but when I play mobile games, I'm like, it's a mobile game, So even with that mindset, I still feel that there's not enough features to really customize my experience, especially since I play on the Galaxy S7 Edge, Okay, here's an example. So the edge feature can get really annoying with certain games. So when I'm holding the game, I sometimes activate the edge or certain buttons that happen to be on the edge. It would be really nice if I had just a little bit of like UI customization where I could kind of move maybe the screen so it's past the edge, or just something like just a little bit of customization in that aspect. I would like that, but there's almost never true like different resolution. Like you get like the basic resolutions on phones. You get like the most bare bones. Sometimes you get none. You get no actual customization with the game. Like you download the game and that's it. There is no further customization with that, which sucks because some phones have bigger or less batteries. Some phones are prone to heating. Some games take up a huge amount of battery. That like Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is the prime example of what a mobile game should be. It's literally a mobile game that requires you to be mobile to play it, and yet it still took a tremendous amount of battery. Which was that completely limited your actual mobility. So that's another thing. Easily they could have added in some features so that you wouldn't have that, but they didn't. So like that is a complaint that battery usage for some of these mobile games is way too big, but that really kind of feeds into the fact that they didn't put in the sort of like the settings options, the configurations that players could utilize so that they could get more out of it. So yeah, Pokemon Go, you don't need to have all those ridiculous pretty graphics, honestly. Like there should be ways to tone it down a little bit. There should be more options than just graphic turning that down as well. And we just don't have those features. So yeah, I mean, there's some like you can turn off the camera usage, that's good, but that's not enough. So in my opinion, most games don't have that. Now, Albion Online definitely has some features, but it's not enough. You just kind of choose from high, low, turn on or off shadows, and turn on or off effects. But in the end, Albion Online is still a very big game, and it requires a lot of, it's pretty, it's not the most internet intensive, but you know what I mean? Like if you have cell phones, some plans are really small. So yeah, as a mobile game, is it really mobile? I think in bursts, it can be utilized, and I think it's really meant for people who have really big plans, who have really good cell service. I know I personally do, so I'll be using that, but I'll be online for Albion Online, but a lot of people won't be using that. It's actually the mobile version, which should have been more of a way to get a lot of more people into the game than otherwise would be. It's actually more of a niche audience because of the way Albion Online is. In my opinion, Albion Online is just its genre, its concept is mostly a hardcore desktop type of, PvP type of game. That's really what it is. And the mobile version is going to be for the niche casual crowd, or for people who normally do PvP, but in their downtime still want to play Albion Online because they're hardcore as hell. Then they can actually go to their phones while they're on the shitter or something and play the game. So that's really more of a side offering, which is going to be the case for a lot of these games. Even games that are, they're full, they're not cross-platform, but they're full games on mobile devices, or they're ports. A lot of them actually just, they take up too much battery, they take up too much, internet resources. They take too much processing or space. That's another big thing. A lot of these new games come out, they have like really big cinematics. They'll have like really high quality audio, excessively high quality audio. A lot of the times it's really, mobile games tend to actually have really shitty audio, but some of these newer games come out and their file sizes are just really big, and the game is actually not that, it's really more of a, mechanically it is a mobile game. It's really light, it's easy. You just jump in, jump out, just a few levels. They have a star system, stuff like that. Kind of, Plants vs. Zombie-ish, or, Angry Birds-ish. Those are mobile games, and they're fun, and you can pick them up and drop them. But can you imagine those if they had, like, giant textures, if they had giant audio files and stuff like that? Angry Birds, originally, actually, its audio files were really harsh. But you can make really good audio and then have it not, the highest bit rate. It's totally possible, like if you actually just put time and effort into it. But a lot of people who make mobile games just kind of throw stuff out there. So in my opinion, they're not really optimized for mobile devices. And I know there is that argument like, but Sky, you can't really optimize for mobile because everybody has different phones. Everybody, there's even different operating systems, and there's so many, intricacies. And I understand that. But it just seems that a lot of people just throw up mobile games. And a lot of them have potential. A lot of them could be really good. Even like Pokemon Go, dude, had like the biggest issues. Holy crap. Even some of these giant games on mobile devices, or, you know, like, wasn't there like a Dark Souls mobile game that just got shit on? There's so many mobile games that mechanically are attempting to be mobile games, but their file sizes are too big, so not everybody's gonna download it. They're like, holy shit, that's gonna take up too much space on my phone. Nope. You know, there's too many games that just, they don't control well. They're not truly optimized, you know, for touch screens and all that good stuff. There's just a whole suite of things that we could talk about and, you know, go deeper and deeper. But yeah, you know, Albion Online is one of those games where, you know, the UI is too small. Its sound files are probably too big. Its music is too big. Honestly, its mobile version should probably be like a wholly separate version that has a wholly unique UI to itself. It should have its own unique, you know, audio or like compressed audio. It might actually have that, but I'm just saying, like, it needs to be a separate, like completely separate entity that just allows us to play with other players, you know, in the same space. Because right now it's essentially just like, it's basically the exact same thing on desktop, and that's actually a bad thing. Yes, I want to play with everybody, but the UI is way too small. It's like literally like half this. It's like, yeah, it's way too small. It's definitely smaller than my fingertips. I want to say it's like half the size of my fingertips, the buttons and stuff. So it gets a little bit ridiculous with this game. You know, its battery usage, its file size, all that good stuff. And I'm somebody who's hungry for bigger games. I'm hungry for bigger, more explorative games. You know, like probably like a generation or two ago, the platformers and those adventure worlds, you know, Jak and Daxter. I want stuff like that, which totally could work on a phone, you know, as long as you put in the effort to compress the files appropriately, to code it appropriately, to optimize it appropriately, but we don't really get that. So it's not that the games themselves tend to be mechanically inaccessible to mobile devices, because they could be, and we do see games in genres that shouldn't work, like FPS, actually do work with games like Sniper vs. Thieves. You can make it happen. Okay, so it's not an issue with fundamentally like, oh, an FPS can't work on mobile devices, because it can. A lot of people thought driving games would never work on mobile devices, but with the accuracy of our accelerometers, yes, they can. But, you know, it's not really that. It's not a fundamental issue with that. It's really just developers. Are you going to put in the time and effort to truly make this game mobile? Are you really? Or are you just putting it on a marketplace where most people have it and most people will see it? Is it just really free advertisement? Are you actually crafting a true product and service for us? Or are you just advertising your game? I mean, that's mainly for ports and stuff like that, or games that are cross-platform. Not really throwing Albion Online under the rug here, but I really also am very, I guess I would say enthusiastic. Yeah, I'm enthusiastic. I'm happy. I'm hype. Okay, I'm gonna use the word hype. I'm hype about mobile games, and I really enjoy mobile games when they're truly mobile. When I can really go over to, you know, a friend's place or go out to some meeting of some kind and, you know, pull out my phone and share a game with somebody. You know, talk about Pokemon Go, stuff like that. Or tell somebody, like, yo, download Snipers vs. Thieves. Takes 2 seconds. Let's go. We can be thieves together. We can party up. It's a load of fun. It's awesome. Now, will that work for Albion Online? Currently, no. It takes a long time to download it. It takes a long time. I would really enjoy a more compressed version of pretty much every mobile game ever, more options, and just really, I want developers to take mobile games more seriously, because it seems like they're not. Whenever developers take mobile games seriously, then overall, consumers will too. But right now, it's just light, cute fun that we pick up, we play one time, you know, we do one level, and they're like, that was a cool concept, and delete it. Nothing wrong with that either. I could probably do a whole editorial on testing and playing games for the sake of just testing. That's okay too. But it shouldn't be every single experience. Everybody, okay, not everybody, but a lot of people are hungry for something more, okay? They want more. They want more good content. A lot of people are ignorant though, and they don't know what good content is, which is actually tragic. A lot of you guys are like, yo, mobile games just suck. And you know what? That in itself sucks. It sucks that you guys don't know that there are good mobile games out there. And it sucks that some of the games that should be good tend to not be good mobile games. So anyways, that's the rant. Literally, I ranted a little bit too long. Probably went on tangents, but yeah, gameplay in the background's Albion Online. You can actually play on Android devices. When it releases, it's going to be a full mobile game. I actually do have faith that it will be a good port from what I've played so far. It just, in its current state, it's not. Wanted to make an example out of it. In the end, there are good mobile games. I can do a top 10 list if you guys are looking forward to that. You know what? Fuck it. I'll plan it. And hope you guys had fun. My name's Skylent. Leave what your thoughts have in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.